Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. Eminem is in the news, the white rapper. They say this guy's worth $190 million. Probably true. I was looking to see if he's fallen on hard times. Because a lot of times when these guys fall on hard times, they use Donald Trump to prop him up. Eminem. Real name is something Mathers, isn't it? Like Martin, not Martin, but it may be Martin Mathers. Yeah, it is. Martin Mathers, Eminem. That's why it's the two M's. Yeah. Did you guys know that? You knew that, right? Yeah, Martin Mathers, Eminem. And he became popular with this song Slim Shady. And I think he's got his record label is like Shady Productions or something like that. How do you get people to do work with you when you name your record label Shady Productions? Anyway, he's become very popular. And I will admit, there are a couple things that this guy has done. Back that, I'll say it this way, back that booty up. I love that. The beat to that song it's just so intoxicating. I mean, just, and you just find yourself moving. Shake that, dun, 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 shake that, dun, dun. It's almost, it's got like a jungle feel. And I know that sounds weird, black guy talking about jungle, but it does, as this sort of, you just feel like moving. You almost cannot move with that song playing. If I played that song for your 85-year-old grandmother, she would get out of her rocker or pull her rocker up and start dancing. That's how much that song makes you want to move. And there's a couple of other things I've heard by him, and I'm like, that's innovative. It really is. And I will tell you, the thing I've seen about the guy, taking copious notes and writing down stuff. I read this is early on. This is probably 12 years ago I read something about him. And I thought to myself, this guy takes his craft seriously. I don't know. I couldn't name you 5 Eminem songs. But I tell you, the couple I've heard, they're really good. And his very first one, I remember people saying, Kevin, it's just like he's got so much anger and passion and rawness in there. And I remember listening to it and I went, I can hear that. I can hear why you would like that. I don't like the style of music, but I get it. You know what I mean? I get the talent. Same thing I've said about Kanye West. I get the talent. I can sense something about him that makes people go, wow, So this guy, he writes this. Though Eminem became my favorite artist, I had vowed I would never write about him. There was something about his angst and audacity that appealed to the straight-laced me, who couldn't dream of saying or even thinking of the things he did. I didn't want to criticize him, become one of those people he'd call out and sing for the moment. Now these critics crucify you, journalists try to burn you, fans turn on you. Yet with the release of Eminem's latest offering, Shady 15, also marking 15 years of his recording company, Shady Records, it's become clear that while the rapper's lyrical abilities and technical prowess have only grown stronger, he's become a worse artist, one worthy of criticism. Now, I don't know whether this guy nailed it, whether he missed the mark a little or a lot. I just found this article in The Atlantic. Seems like the guy pretty well knew what he was talking about, and it was a feeling that I got. I have a feeling that Eminem is not getting out of music what he wants anymore. The message isn't resonating as much. And let me tell you why I think that is. Eminem's found success. Eminem, it's tough to feel that angst. It's tough to say, this is all the stuff that's going on back in the day when I was like a poor dude, white boy trying to make it on the street, people beating me up and all of and then going, you know what? I can do what I want. I can say what I want. I got money to burn. I got adoring fans. I don't know if he's married, got kids, whatever. He's got a whole new set of issues. And none of them relate to anything from his past. So he's having trouble finding that. And that's what defined him. The guy talked about his angst and his audacity. How do you talk about angst and audacity when you got it all? When you're worth $190 million. Your problems differ quite a bit. When you're talking about, got no food to eat, got to hit those streets. I don't know of any of his rap music, but I'm telling you what I would be talking about if I'd grown up in a particular way that I could have grown up. I'd be looking, who's my next mark? How am I going to do this crime without getting caught? Who should I enlist my boys? Because the only way to not get caught in something is to just involve yourself, blah, blah, blah. I would be rapping about that. When you got $190 million sitting in the bank and your prospects are pretty good and you're working on the next tour and things like that, it's kind of tough to keep that edge. See, that's the problem. You get there, you get to the mountaintop, and things change. You know what their biggest warning to me all the time? Kevin, look, you're on the precipice, man. You could go big, bro. But look, don't ever change, man. Try not to change. And I go, don't worry about it. I'm too old to change. Don't misunderstand me. You get $50 million, $100 million in the bank, and your problems differ. But as far as my core, I'm the same person. I don't believe Martin Mathers is the same person. I don't believe Johnny Depp is the same person. I don't believe Ben Affleck is the same person. I don't believe Matt Damon's the same person. I don't believe George Clooney's the same person as when he was whatever he was. These guys go there and they get distorted. See, I'm not going anywhere. If I put $100 million in the bank, I might have a vacation spot, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to Hollywood and suddenly things become very different. The lifestyle's different. You might change a zip code in the town you live, but in Hollywood, that doesn't matter. Wherever you live, that's where you live. That's how you are. Eminem has to surround himself with people who have angst. He can now only live vicariously through that angst. So now he goes after Donald Trump. In 2004, he invited Donald Trump to the convention of Shady. And Donald Trump went and introduced Slim Shady as a presidential candidate, and Eminem came out, and it was a big deal. He liked Donald Trump. Nothing has changed between Eminem, Martin Mathers, and Donald Trump in that period of time. Not a thing. But now he gave a searing critique of President Trump, using his rapping skills to lambaste the president and his policies during a BET Hip Hop Awards. Do you think he was playing to an audience? Let me tell you something, Eminem, and people that like him. A lot of people appreciate Donald Trump, and their faces look like mine. They're black. But he comes on, he goes to say this: any fan of mine that's a supporter of his, I'm drawing the line in the sand. You either for or against. And if you can't decide who you like more and you split on who you should stand beside, I'll do it for you with this. He finishes, his hand blurred as he presumably flips the finger, saying, screw you. You know what? He's not saying screw you to that many of his fans. And that's a safe move for Martin Mathers, who hasn't grown up. Sadly, hasn't grown up. Got the money, but hasn't grown up because he's still a sellout like all those leftists.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.